Another team with a great result this weekend is Ipswich, Dave. Their first win in the Premier League for 22 odd years. First win of the season, obviously. And they went ahead against Tottenham, which, Tottenham always seem to let teams go ahead at the minute, don't they? They're struggling to get ahead in games, but Ipswich really were valued for their lead for a while. And they went, I think it was 2-0 up against Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well, which is an incredible set of circumstances for a team that many were tipping for relegation. But that forward line for Ipswich was quite hard to handle for Tottenham, wasn't it?
Yeah, mischievous. I think that front three, they obviously Liam Delap and particularly, I think, Sam Smodics, who just to create another case of, it's almost like Jamie Vardy Mark II. I think you mentioned his breakout season at Blackburn at that kind of level. I think he'd been in the Championship for three seasons before he's made this step up to the Premier League. But he'd never really had a season like he did last year, 27 goals in 40-odd appearances, I think it was.
Yeah, brilliant record.
But he's really announced himself. And at 28 years of age as well, just doing that, I don't think he really got any closer. I think if you only have to look back to 2018-2019 season, he was playing at League 2 level at Colchester United.
Yeah.
It's not all that long ago. He's such a clever player as well. I watched him quite a bit at Blackburn last year, and I think his movement and his imagination in the game and his work rate off of the ball as well as on it just adds quite a good balance to that Ipswich front line. And this finish was so inventive as well. It's probably not the best over a kit you'll see.
Not the cleanest, yeah.
You've got to put it in the back of the net, and he's shown that he's got a real eye for goal, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Over this last couple of years, and hopefully, some way to contribute in as much as he can and keep Ipswich up in the league, because I think everybody, probably a lot of Ipswich fans, would have been a little bit worried at being 2-0 up, because you've looked over the last few weeks when they've gone ahead.
True.
And obviously they've not been able to kind of keep a hold of those leads and gone on to lose games from winning positions as well. I think it will be such a relief for them, because I think this is a turning point for them. I think this will give them belief that they can go on, score goals. I think not just going up 1-0 in games, 2-0 in games against the biggest teams in the league, and be able to hold that position and go on and get a win, because I think they've done tremendously well so far. Yeah,
I mean, they've showed defensive naivety, I think, at times, but you can't fault them going forward. And I think, they've drawn like 5 games. It's quite a lot of draws they've had, which shows kind of they're on the right track almost, like they're getting close to winning games. So this win was a long time coming, but to be against Tottenham makes it all the more impressive. And like you say, that dynamism from Smodics, he's such an all-action, non-stop threat, really. But that combined with Liam Delap, who I thought just bullied the Tottenham defence. I think Spurs really struggled with Delap, and Dragusin especially couldn't really handle him. But he's such a physical presence too, Delap, isn't he? We said in a few podcasts back, how much of an inspired signing he is. You get Smodics, the Championship top scorer from last season, and you get Delap, who's, a youth player from one of the top teams in the top academies in the country. And you've got a recipe there for some success, you'd think. And I think so far it's looking positive. If they can score goals, Ipswich have got a fighting chance, really, haven't they?
I think there's always an element of risk. I think, obviously, when you buy in the players from those kind of backgrounds, that there's a bit of there's an untried nature there, isn't there? If they're not tried and tested at this level. But I think there will be, particularly from that recruitment team at Ipswich, would have seen facets in Smodics' game last year at Blackburn, and this is a player with a lot of experience over his years and maturing. He's at a good age really to go in there and make an impact, and he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders really to adapt to this new league and just kind of thriving in the role that he is. And like you mentioned, Delap as well. He's just like that old school kind of striker, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, he is.
I just think he's got such a physique, and he's a quick player for his size. He puts himself about. He gets in those areas which we don't see a lot of strikers getting in and poaching goals and sensing sort of those opportunities. He's great at it. So
it's a very poached goal as well. He kind of nicked it on the line, didn't he? Like, it shouldn't really been his goal, but he was in and around the 6-yard box waiting for a chance for so long that he kind of deserved it in a way.
Those are the sort of goals you want to be scoring, though, as well. I think as a striker, I think a lot of strikers were looking to score these beautiful goals, but you've got to sense those opportunities and get in the right areas. And
Ipswich, though, out of the relegation zone, which is good to see for them. Obviously, not such good news for Crystal Palace, who take their place in the relegation zone. But for Ipswich, yeah, I think this is momentum building, like you say. Whether it's a turning point or not, I don't know. I've still got loads of doubts about how good they are defensively. I think they need to do something in January, some kind of experience brought in. And we said this before, didn't we?